That I did not realize that much about Bumstead until I did a deep dive on him the other day. You know he won his first show? Won overall his first show. Yeah, I went like this. Oh, okay. Like I got.
He got that popular without winning a show?
No, he won his first overall show. Like normally, Tom, I tell you, fast track. Most of the guys that are fast track to the top, they win their first show. Like they just show up and everybody's like, "Oh wow, this dude doesn't know what he's doing, but he's so much better than everybody else on the stage."
Oh, you're saying he did?
Yeah, he won his very first one.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Muscle Matters. I'm Blake Burnard. This is Mr. Steve Suthers. And today we thought we'd kind of spice things up a little bit. We're going to be, just honestly doing a random internet search to search some of the most relevant fitness influencers in the year of our Lord 2023 and determine if they are natty or not by our own eye. And then secondly, if they are with oil or not.
You know, they said Saudi money's good in the bodybuilding. You need a lot of oil.
That is true. You need a lot of oil. And like Steve said, the oil's really good, especially not when your eyes train to discern whether or not they're packing. Okay,
Well, that's what photoshopping is for.
That's absolutely right. And with enough rounding and smoothing out, you can make anything look natural, right?
Yes.
So for the viewers at home that maybe aren't familiar with synthetic oils and their role in the bodybuilding industry, Steve, could you kind of fill them in?
Basically what it is, it's you take a bottle, just picture like Western oil. I just keep it simple. Take something like Western oil. It's not Western oil, so please don't nobody go out there and shove corn oil in your body. It's biodegradable, blah, 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 blah. So it's just a bunch of oil, and you shove it into the muscle. And what you're doing is you're causing it to expand and grow. It's going. If you have an 18-inch arm, tomorrow you have a 24-inch arm. And yeah, once we're going to show up some pictures, and you'll be able to see some of these lovely things. But the oil is not loyal.
Well, I want to interject. They may not see it, because a lot of these guys have it. Even
No. You can see it. You just don't want to believe it because that's your hero.
Sure. That's exactly true. And I think it's good also to discern between like what may be just awesome genetics with some drugs and then what's completely blown out of proportion. Guys, if you go Google this, you'll see some wacky stuff probably done in the dark alleys of Tijuana.
That most people think about the South American kids that come around. What was it, the Russian kid that had to go get his arms drained because they were going to fall off because he did so much. So most people view synthol as some sort of gigantic blob. No, there's actually like a BBL. They do this synthol just like a BBL. There is a doctor that is injecting synthol into the arms just like a BBL. There's a doctor that is shaping it so it doesn't look like the horror stories that you see on the internet.
Alex needs to insert the image of SpongeBob with anchor arms, right? That's what we're talking about here. All right, roll it, Alex. Let's get to our first one, okay?
Ooh.
Chris Bumstead. All right, can we get some images of this guy? For those who, oh no, we just have plugs to his YouTube channel.
Well,
I'll throw it in post.
Okay.
Chris is a genetic freak. Let's just say that. He's a genetic freak. The average person will never be able to look like that. The above average person will never be able to look like that. But with Chris being a genetic freak, what do you think?
I got to see some pictures of this guy. Alex, can we at least throw up one?
I want you to look at his first.
It's not like I have a poster of this guy above my
his
bed.
His first Olympia. So that he's been, what is he, 4-time Mr. Olympia. So let's back up 4 years. Let's go 2019, Chris Bumstead, Classic Olympia.
Okay, Steve might have a poster of this guy above his bed.
I might. Now, see, are we at the 2019? Make sure it's 2019.
Why, Steve?
You'll see. 2019. Okay, look at that physique in 2019. Okay? Look at the shoulders. Look at the arms. Look at the separation, how everything is separated. It's nice, right? Type in 2023. Where did that arm go? Look at those shoulders.
Yeah, that's strikingly different, actually.
Now, remember, this particular bodybuilding class has a weight limit.
Right.
So with him being a taller bodybuilder, a classic bodybuilder, he's allowed to be heavier. but he can't add anything muscular. Like if you see him in the offseason, he looks great. I mean, the kid's a genetic freak.
Mm-hmm.
But all you have to do is look at that 19 and that 23. He was already at the top of his weight class in 19. But he's gotten bigger and he hasn't spilled over his weight class.
Okay. So, Steve, what's the verdict? Is he natty?
Oh, yeah, he's naturally oiled up. Now, now, don't get me wrong. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. I just personally don't like synthol. And that's just my personal dislike because you lose a lot in the sport. But that's here nor there. We'll get off my high horse and we'll go to the next one.
David Lade. Okay, this is a good one. I'm familiar with this guy. He gets recommended on my YouTube a lot.
Tell me a little bit about him.
Oh, dude, I don't know anything about him other than I think that the kids really like him. He hangs out in the gym a lot. I don't know that he's a competitor, is he? I'd say not, right? Now,
Does he claim Natty?
I think they all do, don't they?
Ah.
I mean, we could Google that as well. That's a heck of a taper for a natty guy.
That's a heck of a Photoshopping number 2.
That's what I was just about to say. So, I don't know. Now, I'm not in the bodybuilding world like you are, but I've been in the fitness industry for quite a while. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that guy is not natural. Because, I mean, from the waist to about his chest, I'm like, okay, that looks normal. But then everything above that just looks completely disproportional,
You can't get that with beef liver pills and SARMs. It's not happening. Yes, it's the See how the skin does a blotchy thing.
Which photo are we looking at?
Number 1.
Okay.
See how his skin does a blotchy thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's testosterone. Testosterone makes your skin do a certain thing. You can even see it better on the larger picture. Testosterone makes your skin do a certain thing because with increase of testosterone, you get the increase of estrogen, so you're going to hold more water. So it does a funny thing to your skin complexion. So it's kind of like a giveaway.
What part of his body are you pointing out right now?
Well, what we were looking at was his shoulders to his arms.
Sorry, pause. Do you want me to play that or?
That's him, Chris Lade.
I mean,
That was a screenshot. That was the video.
No, I'm just saying that's him young.
I-
That's him old.
I mean, I will. He looks like he's teens to early 20s. So he's ahead of the curve on a lot of things, and he's another Gen Zer. The Gen Zers, I'm not mad at them. They make their money. Beautiful body, beautiful body. Does he ever compete it, or is he just a TikToker?
It's my understanding that this guy got popular on YouTube first.
Okay.
Doing straight fitness.
You know the Gen Zs are going to have a field day with us for not knowing who this guy is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Man, I grew up on 80s action heroes. You know what I mean?
Yes,
they didn't look anything like these
They didn't
guys.
twinkle in the daylight.
That's a good. Okay, the next one's your favorite, dude. Okay, so hey, David Lade, natty or not? I'm gonna vote no, but I don't take him for an oil guy. What do you think?
He's not natty. He's not running a high amount. Like I said, he's definitely not on SARMs or anything like that. He's got something in his system. It's probably a lower model, but he's definitely has it in there.
All right.
The great Mr. Natural.
Okay, Simeon Panda. Now, there is no denying this guy's got some incredible genetics.
100%.
However, do genetics build that? Look at that third picture right there on top.
Yeah,
in the
he's
middle.
absolutely beautiful.
Holy cow.
Simeon is absolutely beautiful, but if you search the web, you will find Simeon Panda with a nice little cone on his nipple.
Can we find one of those?
You type in his name and type in gyno.
Oh, no.
Gyno.
Let's see.
Oh, he might have scrubbed it. Oh, he scrubbed it. The man is smart. He has scrubbed it. But yes, there was a distinct picture on the internet where he had a nice little cone, which happens.
Now, could it have just been a hot summer day?
I seriously doubt it. He might have switched over to a soy. He might have switched over to soy. Soy does increase your estrogen. Now I will say this: he's not an abuser, so he's not a high gear guy. That is for sure. He's got a beautiful body. I wish I had genetics like that.
I'm just thinking, man, if this guy would have turned to any other sport other than does this guy compete?
You know what? Yes, I think he did. I think he competed in the INBA. He blew up social media, and he's just never looked back. And he's made a ton of money. He's a good-looking young man. He's well chiseled, well built. I mean, heck, I wouldn't wear a shirt if I had a look like that.
Would you take this guy to be an oil offender?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. The way see how he's got the definition in his arms. You can see each individual muscle belly. The muscle is there. Even in the off-season photos where he's retaining the water, you can still see the brachialius, the bicep, the tricep. You can still see how everything separates. His shoulder doesn't over pop and overextend above. You'll see once we get to some of the oil-based ones how the shoulder just looks like, hey, bro, how did that happen? But yeah, no, he's definitely not natty.
And I think that's important to distinguish as well, because I see a lot of the natty or not videos on whatever, YouTube, Instagram, where they go up to these guys at Fitspos, right?
Yeah,
Or
but that's kind of
Fit-Expos.
I would give you the
Kinda
same
messed
response.
up.
Yeah, I'd give you the same response too.
I'm like, all I'm saying is some of these people just also hate because they could never look like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%
And so I love that you're defining, though, why you believe this. People have to
100%.
understand.
On my best day, I could never look like this
Right.
man.
Exactly.
And he probably woke up looking like that. That's the sucky part.
I'm just saying, one of the things that put things in perspective for me was playing with 320-pound offensive tackles with
That ran
abs.
4.5s.
Yeah, exactly. And once you hang out with, do life with a bunch of freaky human beings, it just, I don't know. What a lot of people consider outlandish, that's only coming from their frame of reference. I don't know. Some of these guys.
He probably goes to McDonald's every day.
Yes, and the other thing
That's
is
the sad thing.
oh my goodness, that is so true. Some of the freakiest human beings I've ever played sports with, their whole diet was Skittles
Trash.
and fruit roll-ups. You know what I mean? It's just bizarre. So I don't know, that stuff puts things in perspective. And then can we talk about how the camera, how they frame them up, makes them look massive when you're like, dude, that guy's 5'3".
I always tell that to people. I have a lot of the youngsters. They talk about certain bodybuilders and that. I said, everybody when that dude looks beautiful. Like you're like, oh my God. But then if Ronnie Coleman in his prime stood next to him, you'd be like, hey, where'd that guy go?
Yes.
So all these guys look beautiful in their own light. But then when you stand them up there next to another genetic freak, you're like,
Exactly.
oh, he's the freak of the freaks.
All right, next. Simian Panda, not natty, but not oiled. Blessing Owl
Abdul, yes. He's
I'm not familiar with this
He's
guy.
the boogeyman. He made a lot of really funny videos on YouTube. It was really funny in the beginning. He did a lot of good things. He has a different type of personality. He's very outgoing. Just once again, he's one of those dudes that are just a freak alone, but when you stand him next to him, he can't crack the top.
Interesting.
Now, I don't believe, if you look at his body, he doesn't look like an oil baby. See how everything has separation? Nothing is overly, as we go down, you're going to start seeing the oil babies, and you're going to be able to go like, oh, like everything is rock solid. There's no slipping and sliding. There's nothing to break up the muscle.
How about ab inserts? Because that guy's abs look like a loaf of bread.
There was a certain bodybuilder that I believe did it. Very popular bodybuilder, Rolly Winkler. Rolly Winkler, I believed, had ab implants.
Interesting.
How
do you discern that one?
When you've got a perfect lock,
And it never moves, right?
and everything's locked. I'm not even gonna go with them. Everything moves, and then you have a roll on the side. Like everything is a perfect 6, but your side, see how his sides are nice and tight?
Yes.
Rollies weren't tight like that. They rounded
Understood.
off to the side.
Understood.
Like, I'm like, oh, I know what that is. That's buffet.
Okay. So this guy, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Blessing is not natty. But like you said, I see a lot of separation in
Yes,
the muscle bellies.
I'm going to say no oil.
All right, cool. Good for you, Blessing. Joey Swole. Okay, I got opinions on this guy.
Go for
All
it.
right, I'm just
This
going
would
off
have
this
been
image right here.
This would have been your era when you were in your 20s. He was the it man.
Yeah.
What
No, I
was
know who
that?
Joey Swole was.
What-
Was he a Shreds guy?
Yes, Shred.
Yeah.
Shred.
One of the
Shred was the first
biggest-
one to hit the market with the ambassador
man.
program.
Oh man.
Yes, capital D back.
Oh man. Well, we already know based on, was it his company? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't his company.
Okay.
It was actually they did really good. They were the first ones to hit the market. They were the first. I remember going and I'd worked booths. I was working back then, and their booth was completely swamped, and the product was completely trash.
Crap. Yes.
But they were the first ones to corner the YouTube, Instagram market.
They were.
These guys made a ton of money.
They made a killing and got out.
Yes.
And man, they took a lot of money with them. So, all right, this guy, I'm just looking at his arms.
Yes.
This is gonna be the first guy I'm gonna predict oil.
See those shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
See how they sit up like that?
What do you mean sit up like that? Explain that.
Okay, see, look at number 3.
Yes.
See how the shoulder, this is the same guy. See how his shoulders look on number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Now you go look at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge difference
They
in
look
the shoulder.
like pauldrons, like
Yes.
armor sets.
Yes, they've been inserted. Something has been inserted in there to make them balloon up.
Mm-hmm. Now, do they stay like that? Is that permanent, or is that something you have to re-up on? I'm sure that's got to be cancerous, right?
Depending on the type of oil you used, the body can suck it up and get rid of it. But if you use too much, I got a buddy of mine who used a lot of synthol. He's no longer the big giant man that he was, but when he walks into a room, he's got a 22-inch calf that just looks like it never moves, and he's got a 13-inch arm, but he's got a big 24-inch arm tricep hanging off the back end of it. Yes.
Does it look like
Yes.
like the Elephant Man kind of stuff? Like
It is a picture perfect horseshoe on a 13-inch arm that just sticks out like a like you see a big lifted truck with a tire stick out the side. His arm sticks out just like that. So,
absolutely
yes.
bizarre.
I don't know if he got implants or not. Now that I think about it, I remember when he did his calves. I thought he was another buddy of mine because he never had calves. He would top 3 the USA's, but he couldn't crack the top because he didn't have calves. He was a cross country runner.
Oh,
and I
brutal.
was sitting at way back in the day. You're not old enough to remember this, but Marie Callender's used to have an outside bar at the Valley Plaza.
Okay.
So I'm sitting outside of the outside bar, and I see him walking up, and I'm assuming it's my friend Pat Matsuda, because I see this perfect body with these giant calves. I'm like, oh, here comes Pat, and I'm waving, and he got closer. I was like, well, when'd you get calves?
That's not something that grows on trees.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Joey Swole, I think we both agree.
Yeah.
Not Natty, definitely on the oil.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one coming up.
And the Photoshop.
Oh, on this image?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need new doorways for that guy. Jeff Cavalier.
Catch me up on this young man.
Well, he's not young anymore. The guy, he was one of the first to really do like an athletic training YouTube. And dude, this guy was so big. You've seen him before, right?
Okay, I know you're talking
And he's not young by any means. But he probably started in the early 2000s. Here's the thing about this guy. He's very, very lean. Mm-hmm. And I would not attribute, I don't think he looks super abnormal on the leanness thing. He probably looks like he's got a wide receiver type build, very slight frame. It's the arms in that third photo that I'm like, that's hard to maintain. He's probably in his 40s by now. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on that? Because personally, I believe if I stood next to this guy and he's just wearing a shirt, I probably wouldn't know him from John. But I feel like he has really good looking arms for a dude that size.
1 in 4, he's Natty.
Oh, yeah.
1 in 4, he's Natty.
100%.
Now, it's not testosterone that he's on, but he's on a hardening cutting agent. The human body does not do that.
Mm-hmm.
See how his body looks in number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Look how his body looks in number 2.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that much water or fat to get rid of, but he came across harder and denser.
Right.
So the hard, dense look can only be accomplished with certain drugs. So he has something, and a lot of times these guys can scream natty because they're not taking steroids.
Yeah. So
he is not taking steroids, so he is natty, but he is taking some sort of outside compound, which could
like
be
what? Clenbuterol and an oral? Like
Anavar, clenbuterol, trinabol, and ecopol. I mean, it's a huge plethora of things that he can be taking to make the body harden up like that. But he is taking some sort of outside thing to make the body harden up and get dense like that. The body does not carry that type of density.
yeah, because he looks rock solid.
Yes,
At that slight frame.
You look at number one, and you can just go like this. Ooh, okay.
But no oil in that guy.
No.
Okay.
Yes, definitely no oil.
Okay. Oh, the next one. We all know this guy. Hafthor Bjornsson, the Mountain. Okay. Let me just say, I'm a big fan. The Lord only made so many of these people.
You know he's the run of the family?
No way.
Yes. Have you seen his brothers? They're all bigger than him.
No, I didn't see that.
Yes,
awesome.
his brothers are
So if
bigger
he's
than
the
him.
Mountain, what are they called?
Oh, I don't know. Yes, I have his pop is sitting in on the living room. It sits at the front door.
That's wild. Okay, so well, we got to look at some images because he's gone through a couple transformations over the years. He started looking a lot better when his Hollywood career took off.
Yes.
I remember like Game of Thrones I felt like peak Hafthor Bjornsson, and I correct me if I'm wrong. He started working with Stan Efferding around that time, who really helped him lean out and get out of that like strongman build.
He did what he wanted to do. He got his one strongman title, and he just devoted himself full time.
Oh no, I guess he got leaner since then.
Yeah. No, he was still when he was the Mountain. He was still competing in World's Strongest Man.
Correct.
So he was still competing in the
Correct, but
World's
look at the difference, right?
Oh yeah, well that's
Go up to the top row, Mr. Alex. Yeah, see those middle ones?
that's called.
He looks great.
That's
but-
called a lot of testosterone and a lot of food.
Yes.
That's a happy life. That is a happy life right
Have you
there.
ever seen those eating videos?
Yes,
to
that
look
is a
like
happy life.
12,000 calories a day.
Yes, that is
It's
a happy
job.
life. The number one is him not being on so much test, and that's when he wanted to be a boxer, and he was watching what he's eat. He probably got a coach to eat to help him eat.
That's incredible. Okay, but he doesn't look like an abuser, right?
Not anymore.
No, you think any of those were?
Oh, ooh. Those guys.
I don't know what the testing protocols are for. Like, I don't know how crazy those are.
What testing protocols?
Do they have it for World's Strongest Man at that level, the highest level?
No.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
You want to watch the guy flip the car? Or you want to watch the guy struggle? You want to see
Bro,
him
I have
see him flip the car.
I have been. Okay, if they test in the UFC, I just imagine.
No, they got
test
rid of that
everywhere.
too.
No.
Yes, the UFC just
No.
got rid of it.
No. You misread it. No,
Yes.
USADA did them dirty, and now they're going over to a different federation or something like that.
The one they use in Japan.
That allows more?
Have you seen the guys that fight in Japan?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That's my favorite
true.
fighting.
I didn't know who they ended up going with, but yeah, I read it and I go, man, I'm all about it. Oh, who's this guy? Oh, we might have our first that's not.
Yeah.
Joe Wicks. Wicks. No, no. Come on, Alex.
He's definitely photoshopped. But I'm going to give him his natty card. He's got a full head of
You're
hair.
gonna have to walk people through that one. There's one of him in jeans right there.
Yeah, well, number 4, that's definitely photoshopped. It's definitely photoshopped.
I can't see behind this camera, but why? Tell our audience how you can pick that out.
Look at number 2 right here.
Looks pretty soft.
It's soft. It's the same body. If you move it back down, move it back up. Now watch. It's the same body. It is the same.
And you're looking at the dimensions, right? You're looking at like
right
the
there?
wideness.
It
does look like that.
It's photoshopped. He's got the same body, and he's marketing himself. You know, tan, chiseled is a nice mark. He's natty. You're not going to get deep striated abs without some sort of Photoshop or drugs. So those are his two options to market that picture.
Fair enough.
And that's a natural physique. That is what a natural man looks like.
I feel like he'd do well to grow some forearms. Am I wrong?
Well,
Does the lower arm get judged in bodybuilding? Like the lower leg? You know what I mean?
When you have a pair,
I'm just not scared of this guy.
Was it the hair?
No, I feel like he has noodles for arms. I don't know. I just think you should have a set of pipes.
What does he do? What's his move? I want to know what is he.
Creates content for people of all abilities is what it said. Whatever that means. HIIT workouts, 15-second recipe videos on social media.
Okay.
Cookbooks.
It's easy.
That's his thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's an easy guy. Okay.
All right, Joe, we like you, man. We endorse Joe Wicks.
Yes.
Okay. Sean Casey. Do you know this guy? His profile is a picture of food. So.
Hey, I like him already.
Oh, he's an American baseball player. No way. Well, I've seen that guy before. I don't think this is the right guy. Might have to skip one. Thomas Ma. You familiar with this guy?
No.
I feel like we're really insulting some people tonight.
How
do you not know Thomas Ma?
I guess maybe if you're not alpha enough for me, I'll skip past your picture.
And hey, it's not our fault you're not coming up on Google SEO.
You're not on my TikTok stream.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I think that was him up top.
Okay, is this
some scary stuff?
Okay,
though.
I was gonna say, hold on, I might have to take back my whole alpha thing right here. It's looking at his pictures. I come over and choke me out in the middle of the night.
Far right. Okay.
So nah, that's not Natty. That's not Natty. See how it's got the bloated look?
Okay, but he's got the same shoulders that we saw from Joey Swole. So do you say oil on this one?
Good picture. Good.
Great lighting. That's what you're saying?
So
Okay.
it makes it pop. But see how the face,
Sure.
He's standing in the sun, already having his blood pressure is probably 210 over 150 because he's in the sun with that much roids. Hey,
you look a little pink, Thomas.
From experience.
Fair enough. What's a good lighting setup? Do you know without even stepping under it, like the positioning of the lights?
I did. I had a real good close friend of mine. We used to do things together, and in his downtime, he worked on a lot of big Hollywood movies. He's a stuntman, and he does a lot of big Hollywood movies, and he would be bored in between shows and come down and shoot video content with me at the shop. So he'd bring all these lights and explain to me how the shadows, and you want your shadow to be perfectly under your foot.
Oh, so the light's got to be right over your head.
You got to have them everywhere so there is no shadow.
Sure.
So you want your shadows to come up so it makes everything enhanced. Yeah, no, it's...
Shadows come up so everything's enhanced.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Like, there's
Well, not up, but down.
There's gym in town that has just made its own posing room. So I'm sure what they did was they got can lights and just like you got to know where the lights are and stand under one.
I mean, have you seen their posing room? And I'm not knocking them. I like all those guys. I like all those guys.
Love them.
Their posing room is shadows.
Wasn't that the point?
No, you want this big thing right here. It has to blind you out. Because when you get on stage, your Photoshop picture is not getting on stage with you.
But they didn't do it for that.
Yeah, I know they did.
Yeah.
But you want this type of lighting. You want bright light. No. So when you go throw your quad, oh, there's no cuts there. If you have shadows, it looks real good.
But that's the point.
You can't take your Photoshop picture with you on stage.
If you want a bunch of 8 Gen Zers at your gym,
yes,
you better have something that makes them look really good.
Yeah, and they all do.
Yeah, tag us. Okay. Hey, it was super smart on their part, by the way. We're not knocking that at all. The lean machines. Oh, so is this a couple or what is this?
Well, in this day and age, you don't know.
The lean machines. Leon and John. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I just said in this day and age.
The lean machines. Lean machines.
They're natty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they go to Starbucks together in the afternoon.
Yeah, the guy on the left looks like a passion fruit guy.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right, well,
Yeah, Natty.
nothing to say there. Okay, boring.
I wouldn't stick around and watch it.
Niall Niga. He's a K-pop Goku.
We're
Look
just
at
gonna
that.
go with Goku.
That's a pretty cool name. Does that mean he sings?
Oh,
Yeah, good luck
babies
remembering the spelling of that
baby
one.
girls get into K-pop and it makes me giggle.
All right.
Asians are the it's going to
They're
sound really
different.
racist. It's going to
They're
sound
both
really
different.
racist. Asians are the new black. They have beautiful, beautiful bodies. Unfortunately for Asians, it's sorry, you guys are only 5'2".
But that's the misleading part, right?
They are beautiful. I mean, you look at that's a beautiful body right there. Number one, that is a beautiful body. He's not natty, but he doesn't have any oil. Everything is beautiful. It's perfect. That is an aesthetic look right there.
Why do you think that is?
Just the way everything flows off the X-frame.
No. I'm like not. Our viewers are mature enough to know what we're talking about
Look
here.
at that hood on him.
But
Number 2.
when you say that Asians have a particular build, has it always been that way, or are they just coming out onto the scene a little bit more now?
They're coming out to the scene a little bit more.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
they've been around, but like I said, that guy, he looks beautiful. Like that huge chest. He's got a like throwback Arnold Schwarzenegger chest. It just sits out like Arnold used to do back in the day. Just a big giant hood, that small vacuumed waist, the way the obliques tie right in. It's beautiful. But the problem is he's probably 5'2", 3, 4, 5. I mean, and I'm being generous.
Yeah.
And I probably, in my luck, he'll be 6 foot and I'll look stupid. But then you go stand him up next to C-Bump.
Right.
He's going to get washed out. And
Oh,
that's
here
what
we
ends
go.
up
Height.
happening. These guys, I mean, you see these guys and they absolutely have beautiful physiques.
5'7".
Oh, but
Hey.
yeah, 165. Ah. And we know 5'7" means 5'5".
All right, last one. Let's round this thing out. Number 13, the Stoltman brothers. We got another couple guys. I'm not familiar with this. Does that just mean I'm out of touch? What does
No,
that
it
mean?
just means that today sucks. They don't. Back in the day, we could pick up a magazine and read about these guys.
Yeah, it's true. That.
Now your YouTube.
That'll be our next episode. Best 80s action heroes. Okay.
Natty-ish.
That's interesting.
Ish. They're not natty, but they're ish because they're not on a ton. Ooh, that
Yeah, I'd
bicep.
have to agree with you.
Those are well-fed big boys.
Oh, so these are world's strongest men competitors?
Yes, these are well-fed big boys. They're taking up a lot of oxygen when they come into the room.
I'm saying, yeah, and you can tell these guys are tall,
Yes.
350 plus,
Oh yeah, these are big ones.
and abs.
These are the big.
But again, I have a hard time because I played with guys that look like this, man.
yeah.
So,
these are the big.
and Iowa's full of them. You know what I mean?
Uh,
All right. So no oil, but
no oil.
but to stay competitive, they probably take something.
Yes,
For
you
sure.
can see, you can see, once see how the skin's got that blotchy look. It's a giveaway.
I still don't know what you mean by blotchy.
Okay, let's go back up to picture number. Come back down. Where they're in their kilts. Okay, pull the kilt picture up.
Oh no. We Scottish.
Okay, see how it doesn't look tight and hydrated.
Yes.
It almost looks like they're carrying a layer of body fat.
Yeah.
But
Okay, now I
it's
see
not
it. That's a
body
better
fat.
picture.
It's estrogen.
Ah.
So, and it's just because the chemicals are causing the body to do certain things.
I thought estrogen made you look more
No,
hydrated, like softer.
Yes, and that's what's going on.
Different kind of soft.
Yes, and
Okay.
it's a giveaway.
Not soft and full.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a giveaway because it has a blotchy look. It doesn't look healthy.
Understood. Well, I can tell you one thing they've got us beat on. They wear exactly 2 more kilts than you and I have been seen wearing on the show.
I will wear my Lafa next time.
You have one?
Yeah, I've got several.
Oh wait,
Oh,
that's a skirt.
Yes, no, don't say that out loud. These Polynesians might eat you alive.
Dude, I know exactly what I just said. That's okay. Hey, next episode, we will have Steve on air. You guys are going to want to tune in on YouTube because if you want to see him in a kill, we're going to make him cross his legs, though. Okay. And Alex, you're welcome.
Yes, because it wouldn't be traditional.
We could just keep an emoji right over it. You know what I mean? Anyways, that was fun, man. I mean, not all those guys were on things. And I was actually surprised. Maybe I'm just like a little jaded towards the whole like influencer thing. I expected everybody to be on something and it to be egregious. I was pleasantly surprised.
I mean, you look at the ones that weren't. Did we know who they were?
Do you guys have a favorite or an at least favorite?
The dagger. Do I have a favorite? I'm partial to the big guys, man. I'm partial to the dudes that are not 5'7", but are like 6'9", you know, and look that great. Again, I just always go back to the Ron Wolf quote. He's like, man, the Lord only put so many guys like that on planet Earth. That's the Anakim, or you know what I mean, from Deuteronomy. They're just probably even bigger than that.
I remember watching all those ESPNs growing up. World's Strongest Man was on TV, and I wanted to be a World's Strongest Man. And then I went to a competition. I was like, well, God, you did not bless me with that height, did you?
Yeah, gonna have a hard time with the stones. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, leverages matter, and that doesn't get explained to you in strength pursuits. Things become a lot easier with longer levers, and you know, ultimately, you want to turn your body into the craziest catapult you can. You're going to need long limbs. You know, some people are blessed with it, some people aren't. So, anyways, that was a fun practice, man. I'm tempted to say we should do it with, you know, NFL athletes and things like that, but some of those guys I might know, so maybe we could keep that on the down low. Ultimately, man, I think that everyone could benefit from. When I was an English teacher, I used to, just total sidebar here, I made it a point to make a capstone project about identifying ways that that companies try to persuade you in marketing efforts, social media, that kind of stuff. I think that this might sound silly, but I think it's important that people know how to point this stuff out.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at what just happened with Liver King, right?
You're only fooled because you want to be fooled. But then again, Barnum Bailey said, "Sucker's born every day, and it's my job to take his money from him," or something like that.
Exactly. And so that's why we send everyone to Sportlander West, because they're not going to get lied to, right? And they're not going to, be sold fool's gold saying that, hey, you can look like me or
Take
whoever
all
it is.
these things right here and it'll work for
Man,
you.
yeah, over the counter,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Like I said, he didn't get looking like that from SARMs.
That's right. Well, that was a good plug. You can pay me later, okay? Guys, hey, this has been an awesome episode of Muscle Matters. You can find Steve at
7420 District Boulevard, Sportlander West.
Very good. And you can follow me on Instagram at grindhouse_SC. And for more like this, stay tuned for next week's episode. Peace.